Most people think that sales is all about talking. They're actually wrong. Today, we'll be covering the 5 top tips for any successful salesperson. 1. Overcoming the fear of rejection. There's really 2 ways that you need to overcome rejection or the fear of rejection. The first one is understanding that rejection is a necessary part of the process. If you think about the fact that you are dependent on that single interaction, that you'll be stuck thinking it's way too important. You need to think about it as part of the process that's going to get you there. So think about the next door, think about the next call, think about the next person that you're going to speak to, and you'll find that that particular interaction becomes less important. The second part is preparation. If you have a list of leads, if you have 20 leads, 30 leads, if you have 20 doors, 30 doors, if you have 20, 30 people, you know for a fact that that one particular person is not that important. But if you are prepared and you understand that it's part of the process, you'll find that the fear of rejection is not going to stop you. It's actually preparing you and empowering you. Second, you need to review what you're doing. When I was 22 years old, I had a really no F's given attitude, and I was able to get by just because of the attitude. What I eventually realized in the later years was that you need to be able to build and continue to improve. And one of the ways that you need to do that is you need to review your output, whether it's your calls, whether it's your emails, whether it's your LinkedIn messages. You need to objectively look at the quality of what you're putting out, and you need to statistically understand what's working, what isn't, what can you tweak, and some of it is just trial and error sometimes. But having a strong attitude, having a great attitude is absolutely mandatory, but you also need to be somewhat clinical about reviewing what you're doing so that you can tweak it so that it gets better and better and better every single time. Third, you need to have discipline and systems in place. The reality is, as a salesperson, very often there will be external factors that are affecting your mood, your happiness, your attitude, and naturally that will have an impact on your productivity and the quality of the calls, the quality of the exchanges that you're having with your prospects. If, however, you are building particular systems, which is every day I have to do X, Y, Z. I have to make sure I send X amount of emails. I have to make sure I speak to X amount of people. And those systems are then executed in a consistent way where, irrespective of how you feel you are going to go through the motions of actually doing those, you'll find that however you feel in that particular day becomes irrelevant, because now you've built systems that allow you to hit KPIs that you have, and you have the consistency of being able to deliver those on a high quality, irrespective of how you feel. So consistency and systems in place, and you'll go very far. The fourth point is the ability to persuade. See, a lot of salespeople, unfortunately, think that persuasion is all about talking, and it's all about talking as much as you can, trying to say the fanciest words you possibly can think of. The reality is a lot of it boils down to listening and understanding what your prospect potentially needs, so that when you're then putting your product across, you can match with what their desires are. And that's a great way to be able to persuade, because you're just filling a gap of a need. The second thing is you need to be able to have a certain degree of conviction. One, I would say always look at your prospects in the eyes when you're trying to get a message across. Let them see that you really believe in what you're saying. And the second point is, if you're not seeing them face to face, or if you're not on video call, make sure that your voice and your tonality demonstrate a great deal of conviction. Mean what you say. And if you do those 2 things, and if you listen to people, you'll find that you can persuade anyone to do just about anything you need. Fifth and final point, you need a great deal of resilience. See, the truth of the matter is, you're going to get rejections. You're going to get very close to getting a deal, and then it'll blow out. You'll get people that don't want to talk to you, and you need a great deal of resilience. You need to be tough. You need to understand that the deal could be just around the corner, and you need to persist. If you're not tough, and if you don't have a thick skin, you'll find that you'll be emotionally affected, your productivity is affected. So really, you need a great deal of resilience. You need to pick yourself back up. You need to crack on. Ultimately, don't be a kitty cat. So those are my 5 top tips from Paolo Emilio Zanini, and I hope to see you next week.